Evening, everybody. We got some breaking news going on this evening. That's why I got my goggles on. Got a little bit of reading to do for you this afternoon. We have the FBI breaking news involving Pam Bondi being cock-blocked in the Southern District of New York, involving the Epstein files and the Epstein case. It is happening in real time, folks. We have been waiting for several days for the Epstein list to come out. Come to find out, we got a redacted version of some information that was already out. Kind of egg on your face to Pam Bondi and her team. They didn't obviously go through the information well enough to realize they didn't get it all. Well, now we find out a whistleblower has uh, brought forth the fact that there is thousands and thousands of pages of this information in New York. They're just holding on to it, the Department of Justice and the FBI there, but they actually have no way to deny the information is out or is in their possession or was in their possession because of the photographs, because of the aerial footage of the drones, watching the FBI guys run in and out of Jeffrey Epstein's properties, carrying all these CDs and binders and hard drives. And there's so many pictures on the internet now, especially over here on Twitter, that show some of the stuff that the FBI should have been in possession of, that they were in possession of during the Epstein trial, that they haven't wanted to give up. So we're going in to cut out the rot, get whoever in the deep state that is trying to prevent Pam Bondi from getting the truth out there, telling on these sickos and their friends. um, it's all coming out. People are getting fired. People are resigning, and people are going to go to jail. I have to believe that, folks. God tells me it's so. That's what I just have to believe. That we're not going to just get to the exposure phase of all this horrible crap that has happened to us, our country, and a lot of innocent people, including children, and it just be exposed, and that's it. That can't be the final result. We need accountability, and we are going to get it, folks. I have to believe in my heart we are going to get accountability. It may take longer than any of us want, but maybe it'll all happen right on time, like God's plan. Now, I've got a great piece of information here to read for you, a little short clip from Jesse Waters. Got a little bit of Tucker Carlson episode, Tucker Carlson information I want to read to you as well. A couple of clips today, try not to make it too terribly long, but let's go ahead and get into it. Says the head of the FBI office in New York resigns after the Department of Justice accused his office of hiding thousands of Epstein documents. James Dennehy says he was forced to resign in an email to staff. Late Friday, I was informed that I needed to put my retirement papers in today, which I just did. I was not given a reason for this decision, he says. Dennehy was previously told his office to dig in after Trump was elected. The resignation comes after Pam Bondi, Attorney General Pam Bondi, instructed FBI Director Kash Patel to launch an investigation into claims of the New York field office was hiding thousands of documents. Bondi said the source came forward claiming the field office had thousands of pages of documents. That was a whistleblower a few days ago. Told off on their bosses, and the boss quit. Says I repeatedly questioned whether this was the full set of documents responsive to my request, and was repeatedly assured, "Oh, that's it. That's all there is. There's nothing else. We have not. That's all the information we received. That's all there is." Well, late yesterday, um, Pam Bundy says I learned from a source that the FBI field office in New York was in possession of thousands of pages of documents related to the investigation and indictment of Epstein. Despite my repeated requests, the FBI never disclosed the existence of these files. When you and I spoke yesterday, you were just as surprised as I was to learn of this new information. Well, that gets us caught up to what has happened so far. Well, now the FBI the guy that was running that field office, has resigned because he don't want to go to prison, and he's in a situation where somebody's telling him do your job, while he's got somebody else telling him don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And so he is bailing out to prevent from being the man in the crosshairs, because somebody is obviously whispering in his ear, and I'm not talking about Pam Bondi. Somebody told him, stop what you're doing. Do not allow Pam Bondi, Castell, or any of them to get any of this information. Dig in was the words used. And so there are obviously a bunch of Trump haters over there, and They were trying to, I guess, cover their own ass, CYA, damage control, and it's not going to work. And I'm glad to see it. Good job.
So who's in charge at the New York FBI field office? Who's withholding Epstein docs from the Attorney General? James Dennehy is running the show there. There he is. This is the guy who emailed his whole staff to dig in after Trump took office. And don't forget that James Comey's daughter is an assistant U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York. She worked on the Epstein and Maxwell cases. She's kind of knee-deep in this. Epstein was facing sex trafficking charges in Lower Manhattan. Where's all that paperwork? The FBI seized computers, surveillance videos, banking records, file cabinets, and photographs from all of Epstein's properties in New Mexico, the Virgin Islands, Palm Beach, and in New York. The Justice Department also gave Epstein a sweetheart non-prosecution deal 17 years ago. Where are those files? The Bureau of Prisons. Where are those files? You remember where Epstein killed himself? I asked Bill Barr about that, why everything seemed to go wrong that night.
When I first heard all the information and all the coincidences here, I was suspicious.
What were the coincidences? I mean, those were a lot of coincidences.
Well, one of the cameras was out.
Right.
He was supposed to have a cellmate. Cellmate left. They didn't replace the cellmate. And the guards who were supposed to check him every half hour didn't check him.
My EMT source said he was on the scene immediately to pull Epstein's body out to the morgue. And when he got to the cell, he saw 7 people there touching Epstein's body and moving stuff around.
All I can say is, what the hell, Bill Barr? Bill Barr needs to go to jail for a lot of things, including not telling us what happened during the Jeffrey Epstein case and the Jeffrey Epstein murder. And I'm going to go ahead and say it. He was murdered. No doubt about it. Now, if my audio is a little bit low today, folks, I apologize. My Bluetooth conked out on me in the middle of this broadcast. Hopefully it's good. If not, I'll hear about it as soon as I get done with this video. Somebody will let me know in the comment section, I'm sure. All right, let's go right on down the line. I had a couple more things I wanted to read to you today, and a couple clips I wanted to play for you. Now, this is a statement from Tucker Carlson involving Zelenskyy, and he's absolutely accurate on this. If this thing will ever stop spooling. Says one of the most striking things about yesterday's Zelenskyy press conference was Lindsey Graham's reaction to it. The two are old friends, but Graham disavowed him within an hour. This was more than just transactional disloyalty. It was scapegoating. Lindsey Graham knows what's coming. Over the past 3 years, for the tactic support of its Western patrons, the Ukrainian government has committed a remarkable number of serious crimes. Ukrainians sold huge quantities of American weapons to the international black market at 20 cents on the dollar. These weapons are now in the hands of armed groups around the world, including Hamas and the Mexican drug cartels, and the forces now controlling Syria. More terrorists. God knows what the Ukrainians have done with the pathogens in Americans' biolabs in their country. Even U.S. intel agencies aren't sure. Ukrainians have also murdered a number of people in various countries in political assassinations and tried to murder others, including American journalists and European head of state. This is all true, and it's all coming out at some point. Better to start blaming it on Zelenskyy now, Mr. Lindsey Graham. I did see that Lindsey Graham backing away from Zelenskyy. It makes me think that he knows they're going to get rid of Zelenskyy, or he knows the stink on what the money actually went for is going to come out, and he is one of the head Zelenskyy lovers that's been to Ukraine. I think he bragged about went to Ukraine 17 times or 11 times, some crazy number. You wouldn't think a politician would need to go to Ukraine that many times, but obviously there's something going on there called the military-industrial complex, lobbyist money, and just waste, fraud, and abuse. And yes, the rhinos are in on it too, folks. Democrats by nature, they do it. The rhinos A lot of them doesn't take much convincing. Now, this is a short clip of Joe Rogan and Elon Musk together. But before I get into that, it's a pretty scary clip as to what Elon Musk says. He's talking about exposing people that are really powerful, and it's actually pretty scary. I'll play you that. Before I do, let me just go ahead and remind y'all that Trump is speaking tomorrow. He's having like a State of the Union type address, first 40 days in office, what he's done and what he's going to do and how he plans to get there. And I believe it will be an awesome, awesome speech. So I encourage everybody to watch it. It'll be tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening at one point. That's all I know at this point. Let's go ahead and get into this Elon Musk video. It's a little short clip. Like I said, Elon was on Joe Rogan just a couple of days ago. You're welcome to go watch the whole 3-hour skit. But this is one of the things that was said that I thought was very disturbing.
It's more than just insider trading. Like the insider trading stuff, like the stock portfolio stuff is quite trackable, but it's a lot more than insider trading.
The way they're acquiring wealth.
Correct.
And what other methods?
I mean, this is really going to get me assassinated. It's like I'm not lengthening my lifespan by explaining this stuff, to say the least. I mean, I was supposed to go back to DC. How am I going to survive? This is going to kill me for sure. In fact, I do think like it's like I actually have to be careful that I don't push too hard on the corruption stuff because it's going to get me killed. Yeah, it's like I was actually thinking about that on the plane flight over here. It's like if I push too hard on the corruption stuff, people get desperate.
My mic was muted, folks. If you're one of those people that has those top secrets that will get you thrown in prison, ruined, and financially destroyed all in one fell swoop, those people right now are worried, and if they become desperate because they realize they're caught, they're liable to lash out and try something crazy like assassination attempts on people like Elon and Trump. No doubt about it, folks. You can only back crazy in the corner so long, and they're going to try to bite you. It's just a fact. It's just a fact. That's what I got for you on this one here. Very disturbing. I just want to say thank God for Elon Musk being so brave, such a brave patriot trying to help our country. And just want to say everybody that prays, let's put out a prayer today for Elon Musk and Trump and their families and their safety. Sometimes you have to do that, folks. I believe it is absolutely necessary. And I'm worried. I'm really a little worried for Elon at this point, and Trump. I don't know what to say about it other than it's scary times. It says, President's message is very clear. If individuals illegally dox our ICE agents, we will be referring them to Pam Bondi and prosecute them to the fullest. You mean people like AOC who done it last week? It says, we're locking down the border and sending illegals back to where they came from, and we won't allow lawbreakers to stand in the way of protecting the American people.
The number one issue was the border. We just got new information that they're doxing our federal agents. They're putting their personal information out there, these activists, and they're disrupting the operation. So you got Trinidad Aga running all across the country.
We have activists, that's true. And
so what are we going to do about the activists?
Yeah, a lot of those activists are acting illegally, and we'll give that to our Attorney General, and she'll take a look at that very strongly. But we also having tremendous support from Border Patrol, from ICE. The ICE agents have been unbelievable. Border Patrol, their leadership at Border Patrol has been incredible, and they're working very well. And as you know, and I saw you reporting it this morning, actually, we set records on the least number of illegal aliens coming in, migrants coming into our country.
Recent dispute, if that's the right word, with Tom Homan, the president's Homeland Security czar, so-called. You held an online forum, a Know Your Rights forum, that he didn't like. What were you doing? What was your goal as you saw it?
My job is to educate and act as a liaison of critical information to my constituents. And I was informing all of my constituents of their constitutional protections, and in particular, their constitutional protections against illegal search and seizure in the United States.
Holman was upset, I suppose, because he felt that you were giving advice to people who were here illegally. Were you?
I was giving advice to all of my constituents. Yeah.
He said he was going to report you, or even that he did reach out to the Department of Justice. Have you heard from the Department of Justice?
I have not, and I intend on reaching out to the Department of Justice to inquire.
Really? What would your question be for the Department of Justice?
Well, there is a member of the Trump administration who is threatening and seeks to open an inquiry, and are you going to do it?
What would you learn? What do you hope to learn from that exchange?
I think it's important to know where this administration stands and if they intend on using political intimidation to silence their critics.
It's not political intimidation, lady. It's about getting you to shut your mouth when it comes to you spouting stuff that actually is impeding or endangering ICE agents' ability to do their job. If you're going that far, your ass should be catching some kind of charge. Just my opinion, folks. Yeah, we need to handle up on this stuff. I hope Pam Bondi throws the book at this guy that just resigned, Mr. Dennehy from the FBI. Resigning shouldn't be good enough. His ass should catch charges and find out who told him to dig in, because we need